I I mean I got a lot on my plate for these upcoming what now it's a month now, right? But yeah, like let's just start with the first event.
All right, well, I mean, you recently talked about a little bit about the Lake Placid Ironman. So, what are your thoughts on the whole race and like your chances of success and all that?
I think for Lake Placid, like looking at the overall course, I mean it's from what I heard it's the hardest Ironman course in the north like eastern region. And like just looking at that elevation profile, like for biking, like that's going to make up the majority of it. That's like what's like 6,000-ish feet of gain. Just going to be a pretty tough to make cutoff. I haven't done as much biking as I wanted to, but I think I could just barely make it. I mean, with the running part, like that's like I'm not even thinking about that honestly.
I mean, yeah, because
Um,
you completed that 100 mile at the Mount Hood 100, the Hood
yeah.
100. You completed that last summer, right? So
Yeah, and like I'm pretty used to
and
like
that's a
just
100 miles,
right.
right? So like
Yeah,
25
and
should
like
be a
I'm
piece of cake.
used to exactly like like I'm used to running on like legs because like a lot of the training for like Ironman's like what we call brick workouts, and like the reason why it's called the brick workouts because like the idea is like after biking you're gonna go run and it's called bricks because like your feet feel like bricks, like your feet feel heavy when you're trying to
Oh,
run.
shoot.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So
Yeah,
so that's what the
that's
brick
how I
workouts are
got.
called.
Yeah. So
So
it's like someone just put your feet in concrete and just had it hard and you'd go freaking run a 25 miles or whatever.
yeah, like for me, it's like I honestly I don't even really feel it that bad because like I guess my legs are so used to like running on like just broken like legs like a hard day like then another hard day, so I don't even really feel it that much. Like after like I don't know like 400 meters, like a quarter of a mile, like the bricks come off and then I could
Oh,
move pretty fast. So it's honestly not that bad. Um, Swimming. Like it start off a little bit slow with like training, like getting like swimmer shoulder and then like kind of messed me up. But then, I started getting like a decent rhythm, like getting good breathing in. And then, I think we're in a decent spot to be able to at least finish the section. That's the hope. We're gonna try to finish it by some decent time for the biking because I mean that's the majority of it. It's the biking.
yeah. So what part are you most worried about for the Ironman?
It's definitely the biking. The biking is rough. It's so
Ooh.
rough. Like you like the elevation, like the 6,000 like whatever feet of elevation on a bike compared to running is like so different. Because with a bike, like I'm like sometimes like if the like steepness is like really bad, like I'm putting all my weight into it and then my legs are like dying and it's not like with running you could just stop and just stand on the side, but like with biking it like I mean you could do that, but like
Oh,
it's not
but
the
getting
same.
started, because when you're on a bike, getting your momentum going again is actually harder than just to
Exactly.
keep going. So it's not even really worth it at all. So
Yeah,
yeah, that
exactly. That's that. I mean, it's the majority of the race too. I just got the aero bars installed, and I mean, it works really good. So I mean, like really, like getting any kind of aero advantage, but just helps a lot.
So, what would you say that your hardest training day has been leading up to this Ironman?
Probably doing my first swim, honestly. Like
Really?
running 50. Yeah, I mean, like running the 50 miles, like it's bad, but like I mean, I'm used to running that long, so it's like it's all right.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, like starting with something new, like starting with like biking, starting with like swimming, like just starting with things that you're not comfortable with, like that's what really kills you is like just being in an uncomfortable spot, being in like territory that you're not familiar with. Like that's the hardest part. So I'd say swimming because like there's just so much technique and you know I was thinking like I could go into swimming. I got good fitness and everything. I've ran 100
Yeah.
miles. Like what's a little
Yeah,
bit of
right?
water going to do to me? And then
Yeah.
yeah, then I felt like I was going to start drowning in the middle of the pool or something. Uh,
Oh
but
yeah.
yeah,
Oh
I
my
mean yeah,
gosh.
just
Hey, but
swimming is pretty bad.
But now it's pretty good now, though.
Yeah, it's definitely yeah, I got a good technique down now. Now I'm just kind of looking to like really move efficiently through the water and yeah, just move
Just
faster.
just grind it out. Yep, yep. All right, so is there so like what did your coworkers and like people around you think when you first told them that you were going to do an Ironman?
Um, I mean, yeah, like I think they just respect it. Like I mean, like being on the trading floor, like people respect that. Like it's not uncommon to see people do Ironmans. It is uncommon for ultra marathons, which I found interestingly, like, I thought that kind of stuff was kind of mixed, but you do get a few ultra runners like every now and then. But yeah, I mean most of them like they do Ironmans and they're like pretty supportive. I mean, no one really at my age like does this, I think in our age group like just like no one does that stuff, so
Yeah, 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 for sure.
yeah, they're super supportive. They want me to get it done, and I'm trying my best.
No, yeah, that's great. So what would you likely say that that doing the Ironman is like comparative to like running speaking? Because you're like an ultra runner at heart. So like when you go out to complete a Ironman, what are you mentally like? What distance is mentally in your head of how difficult that Ironman would be?
So I was actually no, actually that's a good question, right? I actually had this conversation with someone pretty recently, and basically he said he doesn't look at distance, he looks at time. So like how long it takes you to do something is kind of like the difficulty of the event. So like that even goes for like ultra marathons because it's like, not every ultra marathon is going to be the same course. Everyone's going to have like different elevation profiles, whatever. So we're just looking at like time. So like, yeah, I don't know. Like let's say like I mean, this is not like realistic at all, but let's just say like running 100 miles is, took 30 hours, and then doing the Ironman took 30 hours. Like, you could probably say roughly they're equivalently, like, same difficulty, but, I mean, it's not one to one, but you could say at least for you, it's about the same. And, so we're just like looking at time. So, like, I mean, just looking at overall time, like, I'd expect the difficulty to be about like a 60-ish mile run, 70-ish mile run, like, kind of
Okay, so that's
comparing that
still
all
like really
together.
significant then, because I
Yeah.
mean, your first 100 mile, the San Diego 100, you ended up dropping out about mile 60 or 70. But
Yeah, it
the difference with that has got to be there's three different disciplines in Ironmans, in running an Ironman versus just running straight for 70 miles. Is the only muscles you're using are for running, and it certainly is a lot more taxing on the body in that sense.
yeah, like I mean, yeah, I think in general, like if you go like 100 miles or above, then you could probably, I'd say, like pretty confidently say it's a lot harder than doing an Ironman because an Ironman's just it's done in one day. With an ultra marathon, like unless if you're super fast, like you're gonna go overnight, you're gonna hallucinate a little bit, you have to take caffeine. But yeah, like with an Ironman, like I could probably do an Ironman without taking any caffeine and finishing it, sleeping, then afterwards and calling it a night. But we'll see.
Hmm.
We'll
Yeah.
see. I don't. I've never done an Ironman before, so we'll see.
Well, speaking on that note, didn't isn't Lake Placid actually one of the? You said it was one of the most difficult Ironmans in the Northwest. So, how do they
Yeah,
like determine the
northeastern.
difficulty or the north? Yeah, yeah, northeast. Yeah, yeah. So up there near New York and stuff. Well, but how do they determine the difficulty like of these Ironmans? Because I mean, I could understand like the elevation gain and stuff for like if you're running an ultra or like a marathon, but how do you determine it with the whole entire race that's like over two, like nearly like 130 or 140 miles long? How do they
I
determine
think
that?
like yeah, like I think most of it's like just looking. I think most of it just comes at like the elevation profile and like how calm the waters are. So like if
Oh,
you
I
like look
see.
on their website, like on each of the Ironmans that they have going on, like they'd like make a description of like calm waters or rough waters, and then they'll say like hills like rolling flat, you know. So I think like that's taken into account a lot, especially like if it's an elevation gain and like like the biking is just so brutal. So like
Yeah.
I think that's probably what they factor in. But I mean, yeah, I mean everyone's different. I mean, if someone's super strong at biking, like maybe they I don't know, maybe they'll think, hills would be better for them or something, but rough waters would be worse.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to take a look and see how you do in the next upcoming weeks. So, what is your
Yeah, I
training
mean,
reg?
we'll see.
Yeah, 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 for sure. What is your training regimen for from so today to wait, what day is the Ironman again?
Uh, Jul yeah, I don't even know my own date for my own Ironman.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
coming. It's like wait, let me see. It's like uh, I have it on my calendar though. It's July 20th.
Oh, so there's only 10 days. So yeah, what's your
Yeah, it's
plan for
literally
the
10
next 10
days.
days?
Yeah, so I mean, I think I got a lot of good volume work in. Like, I mean, I think at this point, if I train more, like it doesn't really benefit me too much. So, I mean, I
Hmm.
think tapering somewhat soon, but I wouldn't go for a full taper. I mean, I'm just looking at Lake Placid as
Right.
kind of like a training session more than so trying to compete for a fast time. I mean, I think that's at the end of the day when you're doing like any of these endurance kind of sports, like people are looking to finish, they're not looking to compete, unless if you're at like that really elite level. But man,
Right,
that's gonna
right.
take you. I still got years left, man. I got
Oh yeah.
years.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. So, well, what reason do you have not to peak for this Ironman? Is there anything else you're doing in the next couple weeks, or what's going on?
Yeah, it's like so like after doing Lake Placid Ironman, 19 days later I'll be doing Bigfoot 200.
19
Then
days later.
yeah, 19
Whoa.
days later
Oh my
we're gonna be
gosh.
doing yeah, so Bigfoot 200. So that's like a 200-mile ultra race in the state of Washington with 45,000 feet of elevation gain, and temperatures can get up to like
45,000?
yeah, like we'll be climbing about like I think like an Everest and a third or something. I
Oh
don't know
my
however.
gosh.
Yeah,
So
and
that's
then
so this is
actually
a pretty serious event then.
yeah, it's pretty brutal. And then like people think in Washington it's pretty like cool or whatever, like it's decent temperatures, like but that particular part of Washington's pretty hot, so like you go up to like 100 degrees. It's up, down, hot, exposed, like all that. So yeah, I got some good training in, heat training, vert work. Heard David Goggins is running it actually, so
Oh,
that's gonna
really?
be
The
fun to
man,
see him. Yeah.
the Ultra Man himself.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna be, hopefully I'll beat him in the 200 miles. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, no, David
I don't
Goggins is
know,
gonna be.
man. We'll
Yeah,
see
yeah.
about
So
that
yeah, well,
one.
yeah. No, I
Yeah.
got some good insider information. So I found that David Goggins is running it, and I think that's going to be, interesting. Get some pictures in, whatever. Maybe sign my ultra vest. Who knows?
Oh, that's cool. I'm sure. So, what are your thoughts about Goggins running his first Ultra in 5 years?
Yeah. I mean, dude, like the guy is old. This guy does nothing but train.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
guy trains all the time. Yeah, I respect it though. Like, I mean, he's got to have done something right to be in that position to where he could just train. I mean, I don't know what he does in his personal life. I mean, I think it's interesting that he'll be returning back to an ultra. Uh,
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm curious to see how fast he can move. I want to see if this guy
Yeah.
still has some good legs because I haven't seen him do an ultra in a while. So 5 years it was. So like, well, now I think he's like what 50 or something. So the last time he did was 45. So he's still kind of in like a
Hmm.
peak range. So it's all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I think it'll be cool to see what what he's been up to.
I mean, yeah, all we see is those, 20-second videos of him just, yeah, oh, yeah, we're out
Yeah,
here.
just
It's 3 a.m. No one trains like me. But we haven't really seen much on the courses, Like, we haven't seen him anywhere. No Badwater, no
yeah.
Cocodona, no Bigfoot, nothing. But now he's attacking a new course with hopefully he'll be able to, run something good, but, I'd rather have you beat him for sure.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I've been training pretty hard, so you know, I'm looking at finish. That's what I'm really looking for. A good finish would be nice.
Yeah, finishing is a win in anybody's book for ultras for sure. So you said you were talking about Goggins and you were saying how he's all he does is just run and all he does is really train because he's already pretty much set for life. He doesn't need to really work that much. Well, what have you been doing? Like what takes up most of your time to prevent you from just training all day like Goggins?
Man, I mean, I don't know what he does in his personal life, so I don't know exactly, but from what I see, it looks like, he doesn't have an office job or anything. Like, dude, for me, like I'm working on a trading floor right now and like we're going in from 6 a.m. till 6 p.m. So that's 12 hours on the weekdays. And then I also am taking a bunch of classes as well. So then that's going to be taking up a lot of time as well. And then, like just trying to fit in, the training and everything. Like, I mean, most of the real training kind of happens on the weekend. And I say like the weekdays are like just trying to maintaining your fitness. But then the weekend is
Oh, I
really where
see.
yeah, like the weekend's like where you have to either, do like some crazy speed work, like run like, I don't know, like a 30-mile run at like an 8-minute pace or like do a 50-mile run or something like that. And then just like during the
Hmm.
weekdays, yeah, I mean, you're just maintaining fitness. That's kind of how I try to fit everything in.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Like, how did you get on the trading floor at only 20 years of age? Like, how'd you lead up to that? Like, what led
Yeah,
up
I
to getting
mean,
there?
so like for me, like I at that time I was at University of Pittsburgh at Pitt. It's like, trying to
Hmm.
get into like the trading floor, trying to get a spot there's like super hard. Like you have to like there's many ways to do it. So like, they have what's called target schools, semi-targets, and then non-targets. And essentially like how that works is like at target schools, they're getting like first priority. They're getting, recruiters coming out to them, like when you make an online application, like they have an AI that sorts like the target schools. Like they literally have like a quota, like a literal quota of like a list of schools that they will take like X number of students. Then semi-target, then you're getting less, less people, but still a decent amount. And then like the rest are just non-targets. So like University of Pittsburgh, they're no, a non-target. Like they're more focused on like corporate finance instead of like high finance roles.
Hmm.
So so it's a lot harder to break in. Like basically how I did it was, I mean, I think you just need to develop a super unique story, be interesting. I mean, definitely you need to have super high grades to prove that. I mean, you really have to. I mean, I say if you're at a non-target now, you need at least probably a 3.9 GPA to be considered. And if you're anything below that, you're kind of in like a red zone. Um, but like the key thing
Hmm.
is like even if you do have a 3.9 or above at a non-target, like I mean, you're still kind of screwed, honestly. Like I know a lot of people that are probably smarter than me. Like actually, I know that they're smarter than me. They've tried to, apply to the same things I apply to, and none of them struck, right? So,
Uh-huh.
like for me, I'd say what made my situation different was the fact that I think I was a lot more like proactive. Like for example, like on the winter, like I went out my way to go meet, you know, these folks that I've been connecting with, like during the school semester, like just saying like, hey, like can we have a coffee chat? Can we talk? Can we, like tell me more about what you're doing? Like things like that. And then being proactive, like going out to New York in the winter and meeting these people in person, talking with them more. Some of them took me on the trading floor as well, which was awesome. Yeah, and then like later down the line, like these people like, they'll go out their way and throw in a referral to you and like when you're talking to these people, you want to make sure you're an interesting person. Like you don't want to be these people get like these kind of things all the time. Like they're getting like probably 20 messages a day about some student wanting to talk to them or something and I mean, they work 12 hours a day, so it's like it's tough for them to just kind of talk to everyone. But like, say for me, like, I mean, the ultra running stuff helps.
Mm,
And it's kind of
hmm.
funny because I didn't do ultra running for that reason. It just kind of happened. So yeah, I mean, from there, just applying and, them being able to put a good word in for me and, the rest is history.
Well, yeah, that's great. I mean, it certainly would stand out to anyone just looking at that, 50 mile or 100 mile. Like that certainly speaks a lot. So like, what was your motivation for starting ultra running? Because like back in high school, you used to like be a sprinter primarily, and you just did cross country just for fun, right? And then
Yeah,
how'd you
that's
transition
yeah.
from that to ultra?
So yeah, this has been on my shoulders for quite a while now. I think now is like a pretty good time for me to kind of say kind of what got me really into this. Like, so I get a lot of questions on like, why do you run an ultra marathon? What do you get out of it? Like, it's super painful, it's super taxing, you're investing a lot of time into it. It's like, why? Like, why do this to yourself? And so for me, like doing that ultra running stuff started as like a way of like, getting out anger. So where that anger came from was like, so after high school, I applied to a ton of different schools, right? Like I wanted to
Hmm.
go into like a super top prestigious, high level school, you know. So,
Hmm.
I applied to a whole bunch of these schools and I got rejected from like probably like every one of them except for one. And essentially like that messed me up, right? Like that was just like unbelievable. Like with how much like kind of, you know, what my expectations were to like how the result came out, like that just destroyed me. Like I was just like finished. And then, like I was like, dude, like I need to make a name for myself. Like I got to go out and like I can't be, like doing this. So, I was like, okay, like I need to apply more. Like I need like, but at that time, like all the applications are done. Like like all the application deadlines are finished. So then they had a thing called rolling admission. So very few schools like had this thing called rolling admission where you could just apply whenever they'll give you a response as soon as they can. So I applied to two schools. I applied to Penn State and I applied to the University of Pittsburgh.
Mm.
Yeah, got rejected flat out from Penn State. The University of Pittsburgh accepted me, but it was their regional campus at Greensburg, and
Oh. Hmm.
that so like Greensburg is like not even the university. It's not even in Pittsburgh. Like it has the title Pittsburgh, but it's not even in Pittsburgh.
Oh, I
And
see.
so like that is what really messed me up. Was like thinking like shoot, like that's probably the place I have to go. And like what makes Greensburg, special in terms of like what brought it kind of value is like that you were able to transfer from Greensburg to the main campus, which is in Pittsburgh, the main campus, uh, in I think it was 2 years. It wasn't 2 years, but it was like you have to complete certain classes or whatever, and then get certain grades, and then you'd be able to transfer. So, I was like, dude, like I can't be in Greensburg. Like I got to make a name for myself. Like I'm trying to get into Wall Street. Like 2 years, like with the way how they had it, like 2 years is what's on track. And I was like, dude, like 2 years is not going to cut it. Like I'm not going to break in. There's no way. So I was, I just had to email the admissions office. I was just saying like, hey, like you guys got to take me in, like to the main campus. Like I'll do anything. And then, they kind of looked everything over and they just said like the reason why they denied me was because that they just didn't have any space at the main campus. So they just said like, how about this? Like you get a 4.0 at Greensburg, you take these classes, whatever, and we'll give you a guaranteed admission for the next semester. And then to me, I was like, done. Like we're sold. Like we're
Yeah.
going, no questions.
Mm.
And so, okay, so then yeah, like I knew I was going to do good in school. Like I knew it already, but it's like I was like trying to find a way, like what could I do to be productive at the same time, like outside of this school stuff. Because like there were so limited resources in Greensburg. It's like so tiny, this place. It's so remote, middle of nowhere. Like on the weekend, I'd see like two people at max. Like two people, literally two people at max. That's if, and maybe an animal if you're lucky. Like literally, it's
Really?
so depressing. It's literally so
Oh
depressing,
my
and
gosh.
not like not to crap on Greensburg or anything. But it's like they're the people there are super friendly. The professors there are nice. It's just like for what I'm trying to do, like that's just the complete opposite of where you want to be. Like the
Yeah,
worst
yeah.
place that you want to be if you're trying to do what I'm trying to do. And like essentially, I was like just depressed. I don't even want to say depressed, but just more so like frustrated with the situation. So I'm like, I just started running. So then I was like, to get off some anger. So like, I was like first starting off with like 5 mile runs, and then brought it to like 7, and then 5, and then then I got to 10, and I was like, oh, that's like a pretty good number, and then 15. Then oh, like that's pretty nice, like 5 more miles, and let's go 20 miles, like 20, that's a good number. So like I ran 20, and I was like, man, like if I could do 20, I could do like a marathon, like nobody would even know. Like then I did a
Hmm.
marathon just like in the middle of nowhere, like nobody was watching, like saw two
Yeah.
people, a deer, that's it. And then I was like,
Wow.
okay, like, and I built so much endurance. I was like I got to turn this into something. Like I was thinking about like doing a marathon, but I was like the amount of fitness I've done and like I want to do something like kind of different or unique was ultra running.
Hmm.
So I was like, I want to
And
like tap into that.
you also heard about that Goggins guy, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but like it was more so like I just wanted to do something different, something hard, and I was like, that sounds like something that sounds like fun to me. Was doing something that hard that like people don't want to think about. So then I,
Yeah,
did the
yeah,
50
for sure.
miles, and that, was the worst pain I've ever been in my life. Had no clue what I was doing, no nutrition, whatever, no salt, cramped up like terribly at like first 10 miles in, and I got 40 miles left, and it was a disaster. And I got it done, but it was the worst pain I've ever been in my life. And then yeah, no, like from there, yeah, just went to the main campus. Did very good there. Continued training. Did the Hood 100, and yeah, and then I tried one more time to apply to like the schools I wanted to go to originally, and yeah, I got a lot of good offers, and yeah, so now I'd be starting at NYU Stern for this fall.
And that's one of the top target schools for your career path, right?
Yeah, that's like the second best target school you could go to. Like I think like the first one's like yeah, first one's definitely Wharton, but yeah, for undergrad, like Stern is yeah, that's like a major target school. I think Goldman Sachs like they hire the most out of Stern actually, from what I heard.
Wow. Ah, and that's like yeah, top firm right there. So, well, that's really cool. I mean, it sounds like ultra running has only helped your life. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. Yeah, no, like people are telling me like, wasting your time, why don't you spend your time doing something else? Why would you do this? Stuff like that. I'm like, dude, like most of the people that are telling me this, honestly, just like I don't know. I feel like they need to do something better with their time because I I don't want to say this, but like it's true. Like I tend to do better than them in most aspects. Talk grades, career, like things like that. Most people, I don't know. I feel like when most people are that critical of what you're trying to do, I feel like they don't really know what they're talking about. Like why are they so focused on other people? Like, why don't they just focus on themselves more? Things like that. Like, don't tell other people how to live their life, and you know, like I feel like I have a decent grasp of what I'm doing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you never hear someone better than you dissing on you, you know? It's always the people who know that they can't do what you can do that are always trying to drag you down.
Yeah, like dude, like every single ultra runner or every single person in high finance or whatever, like they respect, kind of what I do. Like
Yeah.
they love it.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
yeah, and like hey, like these are the people I'm gonna be with, these are people I'm gonna be surrounded with. It's like, honestly, like their opinion matters more to me. No, I mean, I don't know. Just I guess everyone, I don't know, maybe young people just don't, find running like 200 miles or 100 miles appealing, which I get. Like I totally get. I'm
Yeah.
not, I'm not going to tell anyone that running 100 miles is normal or they should do it. Um, yeah, no, like I think, yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely a niche kind of hobby that takes a lot of commitment.
Yeah, so yeah, speaking on commitment, like what really keeps you motivated to every day just go out there and, whether you're running, 10 miles or 50 miles, like what really keeps you motivated every day? Is it just improvement or how does that work for you?
For me, it's for me, it's like I'm just haunted, right? Like just with like the Greensburg thing, like that just like that like scares like yeah, I mean that like really puts like a huge dent in like how you feel. Like I don't know how to describe it. It almost feels like you're trapped in a jail cell. It's just like, dude, like what can I do? Because there's so many limited resources there. It's like you're not special in any way, I feel like. No one's looking at you. Literally, like there's nobody there.
Yeah.
Um, and then like I don't know, like I think my mind is always kind of in that space where it's just like I'm still in Greensburg in a sense because like I don't know,
Hmm.
I don't ever feel like thinking to be in like a winning position is good. I feel like thinking from like that losing perspective works better because it's like I don't know, let's think here. So like if I was at, let's say, like an A and then I have a final exam coming up, like versus if I had like a C plus and I had a final exam coming up. If you had a C plus, you're going to take that final exam a ton more seriously than if you had an A. So that's what I mean by thinking from that losing position is that like when you're thinking that losing position, you're going to try with everything you got to make it perfect and to make it work. And I mean, I think that's kind of what I've just stuck with is just thinking like, dude, I'm still, I'm still, I'm still the same person. Like I'm not special in any way. Like,
Hmm.
like yeah, like I've made improvements over time, but like I think at the core of it's like that's where I started and I can't, I think you always need to look back to your roots and because that's what they got me here. And I think it's good to stay consistent that way.
Yeah, yeah, well, that's great motivation. I mean, if you can find something to lock on to and continue to use it as fuel for, achieving high things, that's always a good thing. And yeah, I think that's what people need.
Yeah, like everyone has their own kind of spark, I think, of motivation, and that spark just dies down. It's like you need to find like what drives you, and like to me, that's just that's what drove me. Just thinking from that position is just like I'm still the same person. Like we like nothing changed. Like I still have goals. Um, like I think every like when people talk about motivation, it just goes up and goes down, and then some days I feel more motivated than others. But it's like for me, it's like the same battle every day. Like it's not different. The goal is the same. And I mean, yeah, you just take one step at a time to, get, you know, each thing done and, make it to, the bigger picture and, people, you'll get there eventually.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Why don't you tell me a story about your craziest hallucination that you've ever experienced when running?
Oh yeah, it's gets kind of bad. So there's some training runs, and then there's the one I did in Hood 100. The Hood 100 was a lot more like real, like much real, and like the training run was just kind of me like seeing things.
Hmm.
Um, like no, like in the training run, like I saw like a girl like in like white clothes, like a white dress or something. It was at nighttime too, which was kind of freaky, and that
Oh,
kind of
dang.
spooked me a little bit. Yeah, so like I could have sworn I saw it, but then like I didn't want to stay around to find out though.
Yeah,
Um,
right.
I just assumed that that's my mind playing tricks on me because I was like pretty sleep deprived at that time. But no, in Hood 100, like the more real one was that I saw like this, like when I saw a log, and then I saw like another runner, it's like a girl, and like she just like kind of had her face buried in her hands, and like I went, like I took out my water, and I was going to ask, like offer her, like, do you need any water? Like, do you need any help? And
So
then
like you're
as like I
right
kind of
next to
got,
her, or
like, yeah,
like
I was
you're
like
getting close.
going, like
You're.
approaching, like, yeah, I was approaching to her.
Uh-huh.
And then, yeah, like she was like just like another runner in the race, thought. And then like I went, like I pulled out the water. I, was going to offer it to her. And then like, as I, like when I got close, like just disappeared completely. Like it's just like a log.
Whoa. Oh
So
my
then I was just
gosh.
like, so yeah, then I was just like, oh yeah, like I'm starting to lose it. But I mean, I didn't feel that bad because I was getting really close towards the end. So yeah, I mean, I knew I could have, like, I could, I could bear a couple hallucinations.
Yeah, I mean, I've actually heard of stories where people purposefully, do these ultra runs just to hallucinate. And like do not understand the point of that because it's a lot of suffering
I,
just
yeah, I mean, oh no, I don't know why they would try to run to just hallucinate. It doesn't make sense to me. I mean, yeah, I
yeah.
mean, I guess everyone has. Hey, if that's their motivation, then like I guess keep
Yeah.
hallucinating then.
Yeah. Yeah, you keep up the good work.
Yeah.
So, how did you deal with, setbacks, like either during the race or like major setbacks, like we touched on earlier, how you DQ'd from San Diego 100. How'd you deal with those?
I mean, like, it's just like every setback, like not even that, but just like for example, like just going to like Greensburg, like that was a major setback.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that was
Right.
just like super crushing. Um, and like, just like these setbacks, like you just look at it and be like that's just part of life. No one's going to go through life with zero setbacks. Maybe one person, okay? But let's just be realistic. Like no one's going to go through life without any setbacks. Um, yeah, like I mean, I think the best way to look at that is just like seeing how hard and how fast you could kind of bounce back from those setbacks because it's like to me, I think, you got to accept, I'm due for a setback or whatever. And then you're going to be like, okay, like once when that happens, like what can I do to keep moving forward? Like, am I just going to sit around and cope and get sad or all that and waste time, or am I just going to, okay, like let's think, like let's see if like is there a workaway around? Like, is there something we could do? Like, and like for me, it's like if there's literally nothing I could do, I don't care. I really do not care about it. I know some people get worried about things that they can't control, but like for me, if it's something I can't control, like why care about it? Like I just don't, you know, it's just a waste of energy. But yeah, just bouncing back as hard as you can, making sure you can do everything that's in your control, and I believe like strongly that like when you do as hard as you can, like the things that you can control, it's like you can get it done. Like for me, like I always kind of believed deep down inside, like when I was in Greensburg, I knew I was going to find my way back up. Like I knew I was going to find it. Some like
Mm-hmm.
I always just had this picture, like oh I'm like one day like it's going to happen. Like I always kind of like saw it happening, but I was just like it's just a matter of time. Like I just have to wait, and as long as I stuck to my guns, like I knew it was going to happen, and yeah, now I'd say it's been pretty good. But I'm still going to be doing the same thing. I'm not going to get comfortable and call it quits now that I got it. Like, it doesn't make
Yeah,
sense.
keep on pushing because, you know, at the end of the day, I mean, everyone's going to be, you know, forgotten after 100 years, but, you know, the select few will, their legacy will last on. And I mean, I think it's worthwhile to pursue that. If you're giving any advice to someone who's attempting their first real ultra, like a 50 or 100 miler, so what advice would you give them? Because it's really, it's very challenging indeed.
I definitely, I'd say like when you taper, like you got to think a lot harder than just like, oh, I'm just going to reduce my mileage. Like that's, yeah, like that's the obvious one. But like when you taper, think about, you know, before like 2 weeks before the run, like don't take any caffeine. Don't, don't like, listen to music, if you like listening to music, because when you listen to music in ultra, that boosts you up even more than if you were to consistently listen to it. Also like a lot of these ultras tend to start at 6 a.m. So I'd say like adjusting your sleep schedule to kind of match that window is a huge benefit. If you could get 2-3 hours extra sleep ahead of other people, like you're going to do better.
Yeah, especially when it's a endurance race that lasts all the way through the night, lasting 30, and then the Bigfoot maybe like over 100 hours. You definitely need to
Yeah.
you know get as much sleep as you can leading up to it for sure. So like what would you say that that like the chances are of you completing both the Ironman and the Bigfoot? Do you think it's like a realistic goal or
Uh, I mean, I've seen people do crazy things all the time. Like I've seen people done like, they call it Cocoa Monster. So it's basically a mix of Cocodona 250 and Arizona Monster 300. So it's like,
oh wow.
they had Arizona Monster 300, and then like about I think 3 weeks later they ran uh, Cocodona 250. So then they call it, Coco Monster 550, kind of as a
Oh my
joke. It's not an
gosh.
official race, but they just kind of combine it. It's like, yeah, like you have people doing crazy stuff like that. I know, Ray Sanchez, like a buddy of mine, you know, he does like hundreds back to back, like it's nothing. It's like I know it's possible, and that's to me like what keeps me going. Like, in terms of like how chances of me being able to finish. I don't know. I'm not a very optimistic person. I'm thinking like it's
Yeah.
low. Like we could be in the single digits, man. Like
Oh
I'd say
wow.
at best 10%. Um,
Uh-huh.
at the end of the day, like doing an Ironman is an Ironman. Doing a Bigfoot is a Bigfoot. Like those are not easy events, especially when you're like stacking them together. Um,
Yeah, only
but
less than
I
20
mean,
days apart.
yeah, less than 20 days apart. So I'm doing everything I can to make sure I prepare well for it. I got a lot of recovery stuff, so yeah, hopefully that helps.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Well, why don't you go into a bit of detail for the recovery aspect during those 19 days between the two big events?
Yeah, so I have like a pretty big list of supplements that I'll be taking. Like oil of oregano, black, seed oil, like cherry tart extract, a lot of like unique kind of stuff that I don't know, like too not too many people like dabble into. Um, but yeah, no, like I did the research, like I know, a lot of this stuff works. I'll be doing like, try to get some red light in. I think cold therapy is always good, so I got ice packs, compression, and then I recently got like some like electric therapy thing that like just basically shocks your leg or
Mm-hmm.
something.
Yeah.
So, that
So
works
put
too. Like
put
that's on
that
the
to use.
list.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're
for
gonna
sure.
make sure that that hopefully works. Hopefully I don't electrocute myself too much, but yeah, we'll see.
If you could finish any ultra marathon in the world, what one would you choose to finish?
Um, I'd say her Cocodona 250 looks really good. Belt
Hmm.
buckle looks nice. Heard the race is pretty well organized. Yeah, I think Cocodona 250 would be a pretty good one. I mean, yeah, like you have like Badwater 135 and all that, but they claim it's like the toughest ultra in the world, but like realistically, I'm just thinking like how does that work? Like it's tough, don't get me wrong, but like I'm thinking more so like, I mean, which do you think is harder? Like running 250 miles straight and, you're in the desert and you're probably going to get to like 100 degrees or going to Badwater and running 135 miles in like 130-degree heat, like, 30-degree difference, but I mean, you're getting a lot more mileage in Cocodona. So I think
Hmm.
Cocodona would be quite a big race. I would think that's a pretty tough race.
So, what would it take for you to classify yourself as an expert when it comes to the sport of ultramarathons?
Ooh. I think I definitely have to get some more 200 miles in before I could be classified as an expert. Like just getting more experience, probably. I mean, I at the minimum, like probably honestly, I probably would like to do more 100 milers than just go increase in distance. Like I don't want to just go from like a 50 to 100 to 200 and then go to like a 250 or a 300 or something like I still want to make sure like my 100 milers are good. I've done 50
Yeah,
milers now, so like I feel pretty confident in that. But I'd say like in terms of expert, like am I an expert at a 50 miler? Like no, I'd say like I'm pretty well versed in that space, but I won't say an expert. But yeah, I mean just doing more, I mean, gives you more experience.
yeah. I completely agree with that. That sounds like a plan. I mean, so yeah, we'll be looking out for you, doing your Ironman in 10 days, and then in 29 days, hopefully completing the Bigfoot 200. And I think you got a good shot. I mean, we're all going to be rooting for you, and yeah,
Yeah, hopefully.
yeah, we'll
Hopefully.
see. We'll see.
Yeah, Bigfoot 200, they'll have live trackers. They'll have like the Starlink trackers and all that. So that's going to be great. You guys are going to be tracking me live at my pinpoint location. You're going to see if I could pass up David Goggins. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, we'll stay tuned for all that, and yeah, follow. There'll probably be a link up somewhere to get to follow that video and see him live compete against Goggins himself. So yeah, make sure to stay tuned for that.
All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in.
Yep. See ya.